Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading room. Hang on here a second. We'll get the screen share going on. So yesterday, turning out to be a pretty good rally day overall. Well, relatively speaking, I guess. Here on the daily chart, you can see the range is still very small and volume really, really light. Now, it makes me wonder what's going on here as we close in to 7,800. You know, those whole numbers, they have a way of at least offering psychological resistance, if not real resistance. But we did see an early rally yesterday, followed by the market more or less going sideways for the remainder of the session. There was a little bit of an uptick going into the close, as you can see right here. The overnight, fairly quiet. We are opening with a little bit of an upside gap. Oh, actually, it looks like we may have filled that gap by now. A little bit of a pullback now to the hard edge of our trading band. And we're kind of in the holding pattern. If you're looking for your first in-sync eagle signal, those of you who like to do your first in-sync signal, well, here it is. You've got a bullish band, you've got a buy signal. You can do the same thing, by the way, on your Raptor and or Falcon. I don't know if I want to get all that quick on a trade just yet. We are only 4 minutes into the day, 3 or 4 minutes in. I suppose if you were really anxious, you could use a second push opportunity. All that means is we allow the signal to engage, and now we use this bar as our signal bar. So we would look to enter above this bar. Stops naturally would probably go below this swing low right here. But like I said, it's a little bit early for me. At least it's moving in the right direction, meaning I think I would be more in favor of a buy signal than a sell signal. All right, so that's what that would look like. I don't know. Should we try this? Looking for some early momentum, some early direction. Early trades are always tough because the market doesn't have a whole lot of structure to it yet. I certainly don't want to get into this kind of scenario. We're just kind of chopping back and forth without any real commitment. The Bollinger Suite has gone bullish, so maybe there will be enough in this. All right, well, here we go. We're going to find out. We will find out if there's anything to this. maybe a retest here of the high. Certainly a retest of the primary resistance would be favorable. Okay, there's a 1 bar or a half bar in our favor. As we get closer to this high, I will become a little bit more aggressive with my stops. The reason being I would be looking for a possible retest or a test of the extreme. Come on, give me that bar. There we go. All right, I'm going to chicken out now, bring my stops up to break even. We are retesting now the primary resistance line. Come on, get up there. Squeeze the trade a bit. Come on. It could actually go, you know, once we break, if we break this high. Next stop, 77.66. No. Gonna get a little bit of a scalp out of this one. Oh, look at that. A little last minute flurry. Yay. Wow. There we go. Thanks for coming out, folks. See you later. I say that half jokingly because I've mentioned many times before, and it's important to keep in mind, trading quotas will save your account. By a trading quota, I mean you should have an objective on your daily trades. $100 per contract is a good starting point. So what that means is I have made my profit objective on the day. Now you may be thinking, well, $100, how does $100 earn me any money? I certainly can't live on $100 a day. But remember, that was with a single contract. As your account grows, you can start trading 2 contracts. That would be $200 a day, $300 a day, 5 contracts, $500 a day, all from just that one $100 trade. Or, if you prefer, 2 $50 trades. But the idea is that it does make you, or tend to make you, a little bit more choosy about your positions. In a way, it lowers the bar considerably and makes it a whole lot easier to trade. Wow, look at that. Nice follow through. Here's the thing with the early morning trades, or the early trades, that makes them always so inviting, is the momentum, the potential momentum that's there. Look at that, nice little follow through. Wow. Gonna push on through to 77.70 or thereabouts, I would think. Definitely some bullishness going on. But like I said, I'm not disappointed. It doesn't bother me so much that the market runs away without me. If you're the type of person that this does bother you, then you need to get yourself in a position where you can trade multiple contracts, where you can take profit on one, perhaps leave a runner in play, let that runner go. Quick little hiccup here, came back with a number 3 signal of all things. So now that the market is well underway, and I think we can call this another bullish day that we're looking at, the best opportunity to get in will be on a pullback. Wow, look at them go. This is 2 days in a row now. This is unusual. Certainly of late, it's unusual to see the markets with this kind of follow through. All right, just waiting on the pullback now. Another little bounce here off of the secondary resistance line. The band getting a little bit broad. We might be open up to a pullback here. Again, not a big fan of the counter trend, but we're going to get a counter trend signal here shortly, I think. The Bollinger is already full on bearish, but everything else looking very, very bullish here. The Falcon may be producing a late filter entry signal. Already have a macro pullback working here in the Hawk. With these big moves, stop placement becomes a little more problematic. Wow, was that it? Was that the move of the day? It might well have been. And are we going to settle in already? Okay, here we go. This is starting to shape up like a bit of a test of the extreme. Okay, we've got a bit of a test of the extreme going on here. With the Falcon, we also have our late filter entry signal, which actually produced right here. So if you took it on the hash mark, I don't know if you got all the way to the profit objective yet, but even if you didn't, there's a chance for you to get your stops up at least to break even. I'm a little bit late on this one, but again, I might use a second push opportunity, meaning that this bar right here now becomes my signal bar. And I would look to enter above there. So that's kind of what the trade is going to look like. I'm going to get my stop loss order out of the way for now. These orders are live when you put them on your chart, so you don't want them to be too cozy. It's not the best looking trade. I would like to see a greater pullback. Let me show you here on the Eagle. I'm pointing it out because it is a late filter entry signal, and those tend to be pretty high probability trades, but there is the possibility of a rather deep pullback, something coming all the way back here to the hard edge. That would be a better trade. The trade I'm looking at right now, a little bit more hit and miss. All right, well, there they go. Let's see what they got. I better bring my stops up here, and I will be much more aggressive with my stops on this as we encounter yet another resistance zone. No, got tagged quick there. I was looking for some initial or a little bit of a hop as we broke the highs. Sometimes that will encourage a little flurry of buying, but not so much in this case. Oh, darn it. Was I too quick again with my stops? Well, it would have gotten up, well, might have kissed my profit target. My profit target right there at that secondary resistance line. And so we wait. Waiting is a big part of trading. If you haven't figured that out yet, you're spending a lot of time waiting. Ooh, okay. Wow, definitely would have made the profit objective, but in actual fact, I probably would not have rode out that swing right there. But a testament to that late filter entry signal working out very nicely. Wow, look at that. My goodness, I thought for sure with this little bit of a hesitation, we would see more of a pullback. Not to be, though. Look at this, the trading band just huge right now. Serious momentum behind the market. Like I said, this is 2 days in a row where and today's rally much more impressive than yesterday's. The the strongest signal here of this last rally, that late filter entry signal right there on the Falcon. We did get a macro pullback here on the Hawk, but usually we're just using the Hawk to scalp. So that would have been a quick in and out. Okay, well, we saw that trading band get very, very broad. That does really open up the possibility of a counter trend move. We'll see if we're going to get a number 2 signal developing here. The Falcon starting to drift. We're seeing a trend line shift. The Hawk producing another macro pullback signal. Traditionally, we only see 2 macro pullbacks within a rally. So we might see a test of the extreme here, which is what I would be looking for, and then maybe a counter trend signal. Well, we did produce a sell signal here. It was not a number 2 signal just yet. The number 2 signal, we were looking for a bit of a test of the extreme. We're getting a bit of a red bar buy developing here. The Hawk may actually give us the first opportunity to short. Okay, there's a little bit of an uptick that will produce a possible trend change signal here in the Falcon. All right, if you're keen on shorting, well, here the Hawk already producing the red bar buy. Now, the red bar buy, you can look to buy it, or you can also short a failure of it. Okay, here we go. So we've got a red bar buy here, and I will look to short. Oh, we're actually going to produce a first micro macro cross in the same vicinity as the failure of that red bar buy. Oh, maybe not. Here's the problem. Big uptrend. I'm looking to short in an uptrend. So we've got some yellow bars here on the hawk. That kind of voids the signal a little bit. Oh, and here we go, getting more bullish again. All right, well, let's put that away for now. Okay, we've got ourselves a bit of a, well, we do have a number 3 signal here in the Raptor. I'm still thinking, well, obviously, I'm still thinking pullback. The next signal that develops here will be a number 2 signal. It may not print as a number 2 signal because it's probably going to be too far removed from this high. But that is what it would be. Well, see, I'm kind of blocking myself from a possible with trend trade by getting stuck on the counter trend. All right, here we go. A slight little turn. This could open up a possibility of move back here to the hard edge. Well, or not. See, we're already working that number 3 signal. If I get a couple of bearish bars, I will use that as a second push opportunity to buy. But given that things have slowed down a little bit, I don't want to get too quick. All right, so there we go. There's a couple of bear bars. I will look to buy above here. I will look to short below here. Here now the number 2 signal is printing. It won't print as a number 2 because this retest is too far removed from the high. But that's what it is. It is a number 2 signal. And I could do a second push here as well if the market turns slightly before encountering this low. I just feel a little better on a breach of a significant swing point, shorting it. And I realize I'm giving up, some of my profit potential before I even get into the trade. But I'm concerned there might be a little bit of a flinch as we get closer toward this support zone. All right, so there we go. Let's see if they fill me on this. Otherwise, I will use my stop loss order as my order to buy. And we have the market in a little bit of a bind. See what I mean about a flinch? I can get my profit order ready on the bullish side. There we go. Now we got the market essentially cornered. Another number 3 signal. Okay, if we get another short at this point, that should produce a number 2 signal. And so we wait. We've got a little bit of a trend line going on here as well that may end up holding the market down. It's one reason I'm looking to enter above this high here instead of at the actual number 3 signal, because if we see a break of the trend line, there is a chance the market's going to react to that. It may actually encourage a little bit more selling. You would think a trend line break would encourage buying, but that's not always the case. Oops, sorry guys. Yeah, my mute was on. So we're still sideways, as you can see. The thing to do is to actually allow the market to break out of this trading range, look for the retest, look for evidence that the breakout will hold. Ho hum. Here we go, back and forth. I don't know if we're going to get another trade here today. Well, folks, we are, like I said, we're looking at a whole lot of back and forth here. You can tell, if it isn't already obvious that the market is sideways, when you get all this candy striping going on, the alternating signals, that tells you that, um, you know, once again, the market is very much sideways. See, here we go, just back and forth, different signals. Well, we'll hang with it here for a few minutes more. If we don't get a breakout, I think we're just going to close up the trading room. What I anticipate is going to happen is we are going to get a pullback here to the hard edge, or if you shoot a trend line, maybe even deeper, maybe here to the 77, 75 zone. That's entirely possible. We are seeing a little bit of a breakout now. Okay, this now is a little bit of a retest. I'm going to throw a just in case order to short down here. Again, this is a very aggressive trade. You know, if you're looking for a trade to follow on, it may not be the best one, but here we go. Let's see if we get any follow through down to Certainly 77.75 was the target. We'll throw the buy order in here. And we'll get the stop loss order. A little bit of a retest again on the other breakout. If I can get a couple of bear bars in my favor, I will start to roll my stops up again fairly aggressively. All right, so here we go. Yeah, things have gotten very quiet, as you can see. And again, I'm being very aggressive on this trade, just given the time of day it is. See, the best stop for this trade is actually right up here. The reason being, we've seen the breakout, this now is the retest. The market needs some room to move around here. The problem, though, is we are in an uptrend, so the market may try to resume the uptrend, especially now that we're trading into the hard edge. You can see the challenges anytime you try to do a counter trend type trade versus a with trend trade. It might have been better off waiting for the hard edge bounce, waiting for a buy signal to produce, and then trying to trade the market back up to the top end of the range. No, see, not getting the follow through now. Here comes the hard edge bounce. Watching the retest now in slow motion. No, big retest. Like I said, whenever you do a counter trend trade, I think the thing I dislike most about counter trend trades is it tends to block you from taking a with trend trade. Here now we have the with trend signal, essentially a hard edge bounce, even though the clouds were out of sync. Again, this goes back to why you want to have a trading quota. You don't want to be chasing a market like this around, trying to find a half decent signal to take. Well, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on here right now. We have seen a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of a retest. The market's still very, very congested, very, very sideways after a very strong rally. I think we might see another retest of the lows before the market tries to retest the highs. I don't know if I'm going to hang out for that. I may just call it a day, and we'll try this again tomorrow. I do have a phone call I need to make, folks, so we're going to close up the trading room here, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.